Together they are strong.
Gulabi Gang! Jindabad!
They fight for a common goal. They use symbols and signs. Some help, some change, and some are criminal.
Once you win, you can never get out. There's only one way out, and that's death.
They're all fascinating in their own way. That's why we want to find out, how does the world tick when it comes to gangs? St. Louis, Missouri, USA. At first glance, it seems safe on the streets. But St. Louis is a city gang hotbed. Only 380,000 inhabitants and one of the highest murder rates in America. We want to understand why that is so. We expect to find an answer from a gang member himself. In this gang neighborhood, we can only move safely with a contact. He is our door opener, Street Daddy. 30 years ago, he got into a gang fight and was shot 6 times. That's why he's in a wheelchair. The neighborhood looks harmless, and yet there are Bloods and Crips, the 2 largest rival gangs in America. Hidden symbols mark their territories.
We're approaching this street called Beacon, and Beacon has a lot of blood. And what makes that so unique, blood, Beacon, words, the first letters, BB, they just love that.
Besides Bloods and Crips, there are 90 more gangs, like the Gangster Disciples or the Boys of Destruction. It's not long before we cause a stir. Street Daddy gives the 2 men his mobile number, and we hope to get in touch with a gang member. Then we discover the red bandana. We believe the driver is a Blood. But in our quest to find a gang member, we have to be careful.
That could be a very unpredictable thing because they shoot anywhere. They won't care if children are out. They don't care exactly anymore if senior citizens are out or witnesses. They shoot.
There used to be a lot of industry here. Then the majority of the production operations were relocated abroad. The consequence was unemployment and poverty. Many see crime as the only way to survive. This year alone, there's been 150 gang-related murders in St. Louis. We'll pass on our number even more often, and we'll be surprised by who'll contact us in the end. Even children are members of the gangs. 16% are under 15 years of age. 34% are between 15 and 17. 37%, and thus the majority, are between 18 and 24. Only 13% are over 24 years old. Almost half of the members are therefore minors. Incidentally, women in gangs only make up 10%, unless they are women-only gangs. And such a women's gang can be found in India.
Gulabi Gang! Jindabad! Gulabi Gang! Jindabad!
Uttar Pradesh, one of the poorest and most criminal regions of India. Violence against women is everyday life here. Statistics say a woman is raped in India every 15 minutes and only very few perpetrators are caught. Sampat Pal wants to defend herself against this.
Men have no respect for us, so we gain respect ourselves, if necessary, with force.
The donation finance Gulabi gang was founded in 2006 to fight for women's rights. Gulabi means pink, and the pink robe, the sari, is the shared gang symbol. There are no joining rituals. Every woman can become a member. There are now over 150,000 members. Today, a new one joins, 20-year-old Saira.
I have serious problems with my husband. He doesn't care about me, abuses me. Also other men from the village. Every day he beats me. The police don't care. Then I met a member of Gulabi gang and she told me to come here. She would help me.
In addition to the color of the sari, The gang has yet another sign of belonging, a membership card with which they earn respect. The women are on their way to Saira's hometown. Together, they want to confront her husband with the abuse allegations.
Are you Saira's husband? Do you know why we're here? Sit down. He treated me badly, took advantage of me. He didn't buy me anything to eat. He spent all the money on alcohol and drugs. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Tell me, aren't you really ashamed? This is not how you treat a woman. Never do that again. Say you'll never do that again.
Slapping a man, the mood in the village tips. Get out of here immediately, or we'll kill you. A threat the gang takes seriously. It falls back. For Saira, there's no way back to her husband now. The gang wants to arrange for her to live with her parents again. Back in Gangtown, St. Louis. So far, no gang member has contacted us. In East St. Paul, we want to escort the police on a patrol through the gang turfs. The St. Clair Police Department has been fighting gangs for years. Policeman Eric Tracy shows us how today. Above all, Eric is on the lookout for drug trafficking, breaking and entering, or robbery. These are the most common gang-related crimes. That's how the gangs finance themselves. And all of a sudden, he sees something. A car in front of him drives towards him oddly. The driver accelerates and brakes again. Are the passengers under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
How we doing?
Going all right.
I'm going a little fast tonight, man. What you got in your hand, man?
Lighter, paper towel.
Lighter and paper towel. You got any crack in your hand? Let me see it, man. All right. Don't step out, man. Step out of the car. Turn around for me.
Eric has found something.
Change back. Right now, when I walked up the car, this guy had some crack cocaine in his hand. So he's in custody. I'm gonna get the driver out and talk to him a little bit.
But is he also a gang member? He doesn't carry any identity. Now it's his friend's turn. He, at least, has a driver's license. Eric enters the data into the computer and gets information about the man in red immediately from the police station.
Gang crime activity showing gangs for disciple. He is clear ICJ showing officer warning highlights for threat to law enforcement, crimes involving children, weapons, drug, alcohol, DUI, theft, trespass, resist, flee, elude, no auto.
His criminal record is extensive. Nevertheless, there is currently no warrant against him. His buddy has to go to the station because of the drugs. There, Eric picks up his personal details. If the judge declares him guilty, he'll be sentenced to the long-term prison sentence ward. Around 230,000 gangsters are currently in jail throughout the US. But there's no way to get out of jail, even if someone wants to. They know too much about the crimes of their gang, and gangs don't let anyone go voluntarily. The only way out is death. Criminal gangs exist worldwide. The membership numbers are only estimates. The unreported number is usually much higher. In America, there are about 24,000 gangs with 1.2 million members. Only China has more. There, about 1.5 million people are organized in gangs. In Germany, it's still relatively peaceful. There are nearly 10,000 gang members. El Salvador is recognized as one of the largest and most dangerous gang countries. Here, the number of unreported members is only 100,000 members. But in a population of 6.3 million inhabitants, that's one gang member here for every 63 people. The highest levels of danger. The next gang is anything but criminal. It also calls the US its home. More precisely, Salt Lake City, Utah. Their common gear, superhero suits. Their mission, to help. In their gang headquarters, we accompany them in the preparations for their next assignment. They call themselves Flamewing and Hellhawk. Candidate member Razor is here for the first time today. This evening, it'll be decided if the gang will allow him to join.
I feel strange, but I feel a little scared, but also excited.
They want to help, but still have to be able to defend themselves in an emergency, because they never know what to expect on a night out on the streets. The superhero suits are intended to inspire confidence. They symbolize the good.
Do any of you guys need socks?
All we have tonight is our socks. We have one per person.
Yes.
So, here you go.
There's a vast number of homeless people, and the superheroes help them with water and socks. The police know the gang and are tolerant towards them. The fact that there are so many people in Salt Lake City without a roof over their heads has a reason.
In Utah, if you do some research, they're actually closing homeless shelters around the state because the cities don't want homelessness here.
In terms of population, there are 10 times more homeless people in the state of Utah than there are in Germany. The gang goes out 3 times a month to take care of them. They call themselves Doom Watch Patrol. Newcomer Razor has to get used to his new job.
It's shocking to see the conditions. It's eye-opening. It's you know, you learn something by just being there firsthand, for sure.
The last good deed of the night. The heroes meet a disoriented homeless man and bring him back to his hostel.
Go inside and get some rest, man.
Not big of a deal. But, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you have a good night, all right?
You're a big of a deal. Have a good night.
It's 4 in the morning. Time to go home. Back in the gang capital, St. Louis. Today, we'll meet a gang member. We received a call from a man who can put us in touch with a gangster. Our plan is dangerous, so the police have given us bulletproof vests. We drive back to the gang territory. There, we have an appointment with our mediator. We finally want to know, what's it like being in a gang? Our contact is called Devin. He's already lost some family members to gangs.
I always try to keep my little brother and them away from it, but you know how boys are. They got a mind of their own. So they just grew up into it, and 3 years ago, my little brother got killed.
Devin is 26 years old and has 2 children. From him, we learn more about gangs and about their rituals.
See, this is where I guess some guy got killed, and this is the ritual we do. But when we lose a loved one, we put balloons, teddy bears, and you see they got the red bandanas.
So what it means?
He was a blood.
Then, quite unexpectedly, Devin drops the bombshell.
I'm a Crip.
What?
Yeah. I'm not scared to admit it. Actually, I'm proud to admit it. You know, I'm a Crip.
But you're in a blood area right now? Isn't that dangerous for you?
It is. It can be.
Bloods and Crips, the 2 biggest rivals. And we're with a Crip in enemy territory. We aren't safe out in the open. Therefore, we follow Devon into his aunt's house. Inside, we start our interview. First off, we want to know, what does the gang mean to Devon? Is it more important to him than his family?
Like, I love my kids. I love the shit out of my kids, and I ain't this gang. Fuck that. I would leave the gang for them. But once you in, you can never get out. There's only one way out, and that's death. So I gotta put this to the side for the sake of them.
The love for his children and the gang are tearing Devon apart.
I don't have this for nothing. Like, I keep it with me at all times. Everybody knows it, and everybody sees it.
Did you ever have to shoot someone?
To get them off me, yeah. Like, for somebody shoot at me. If I have a gun, of course I'm gonna shoot back to get you off me. So yeah, I had to before. Not saying that I know if I shot him or not, but yeah.
Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 or 10 years?
In the White House with a picket fence and a dog. I mean, I'm just being honest. That's why I'm trying to get to the next 5 years.
After all we've seen, it will be a difficult road ahead. We wish Devon good luck in the gang city, St. Louis.